So on the other day, we were discussing about cancer pharmacology. We discussed about two classes in six classes. Told you about alkylating agents and about anti-metabolite drugs. The last class or subclass in anti-metabolite drugs or anti-metabolite drugs will include folate antagonists, which is methotrexate. It will include purine antagonists like 6-mercaptopurine, and it will include another subclass called pyrimidine analogs. So the last class um, in this thing in anti-metabolite drugs will be pyrimidine analogs. Right. Now pyrimidine analogs इसमें रहते हैं आपके 5-fluorouracil. So these are the drugs: 5-fluorouracil, gemcitabine. One second. Right. Gemcitabine, floxuridine, floxuridine. Okay. Now, pyrimidines as such are आपके cytosine, thiamine, uracil, those are pyrimidines. Purines will be adenine and guanine. Right, ATGC, which make up your DNA and RNA, उसके part है ये. Okay, pyrimidine analogs they will mimic pyrimidines. What they do is they will get inside your body. So once this enters your body, okay, this becomes an active compound, gets converted into active compounds in the body. So यहाँ पर it is entering body. Okay, whenever you give the drug, it gets converted into active metabolite, and this active metabolite, because it is a pyrimidine analog, it will resemble nucleotides. As such, because it is resembling nucleotides, it will be consumed or it will be taken up by DNA. Now, normally, whenever DNA is being reformed or it is a new DNA is being formed, वहाँ पर pyrimidines are taking a main role. Pyrimidines are responsible or they play a very important role in formation of DNA. Without pyrimidines, you cannot have DNA. Okay, these drugs will mimic the action of pyrimidines. They will look like pyrimidines and they will function like pyrimidines, but they are not pyrimidines. These are drugs. So what happens is once they are taken up by DNA, DNA is improper now. Okay, we have some foreign material inside the DNA, and that DNA will not be able to replicate itself. Hence, DNA synthesis is stopped. Right? यहाँ पर क्या कर रहा है? For example, let's suppose I have different components. For example, let's suppose I have different nucleotides which are making up the DNA sequence. Okay, I'm drawing it this way. It basically represents one strand. So I'm basically drawing this. ठीक है, यहाँ पर they are base pairs. A, T, G, C ऐसा pairs रहते हैं. ठीक है, and correspondingly subsequent nucleotide will be attached here. Now ये nucleotides जो है, okay, these are essential components of DNA and RNA. Without this, you cannot have DNA being formed. Pyrimidine analogs are drugs that will mimic the action of this fellow. So you will have a new type of DNA being formed here. So for example, let's suppose that is the drug particle. Okay, and the rest is the same. This is your DNA. But in the DNA, the new DNA that is being formed, that DNA has a new drug inside it. The problem is that this new DNA will not be able to form other new DNA. It will not be able to replicate. It cannot form new strands of its own, meaning synthesis of new DNA does not occur because of this mutation. Okay? I'm giving something that acts like pyrimidine, but it is not a pyrimidine. That is why it is pyrimidine analog. Okay. Now, 5-fluorouracil specifically, this drug is used in carcinoma of stomach. It can be used in colon carcinoma, rectal carcinoma, breast and ovary carcinoma as well. Okay, so it is used in carcinomas of stomach, colon, rectum, breast, and ovaries. All right. A 5-fluorouracil tends to be the most commonly used pyrimidine analog amongst the others. Right? Sometimes you will also see gemcitabine being used here and there. Now, coming to the third class, so that completes two classes: alkylating agents and antimetabolites. Now, third class will be natural products. Natural products में जो है, there are 5 subclasses. Okay, so first of all, we'll have antibiotics. Okay, um, antibiotics. Then we have second classes epipodophylotoxins. Epipodophylotoxins. Then we have the third subclass, which is camptothecins. कैम्टोथेसिन्स को टोपोआइसोमेरेज 1 इनहिबिटर्स भी बोलते हैं. Okay. Then you have the fourth class, which is taxanes. Okay. And then the last class, which is vinca alkaloids. I will discuss each of them briefly. First of all, coming to antibiotics, antibiotics में दो तीन drugs है. The first one will be actinomycin D. Okay, this is part of antibiotic. Okay, now actinomycin D is a drug that will inhibit RNA synthesis. It will inhibit specifically DNA dependent RNA synthesis. So when we were studying about hepatitis, I told you that there is one particular enzyme called DNA dependent RNA polymerase. RNA gets polymerized, it will divide when in presence of DNA. ठीक है, that enzyme is called DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Actinomycin D inhibits that enzyme, because of which it ends up inhibiting DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Inhibits DNA dependent RNA synthesis. Here you are trying to make, or the cell is trying to make RNA. So you have RNA in your mitochondria, and you have RNA playing a role in important role in other functions as well, which is required, okay, for normal functioning of the cell. Now whenever that RNA is replicating, its replication will depend on DNA. यहाँ पर that enzyme which is making RNA, which is dependent on DNA, that is being stopped by actinomycin D. Okay, this is one of the most potent antineoplastics that you will find. Potent antineoplastic. Right, you can use it in Wilms tumor. You can use it in rhabdomyosarcoma. Okay, you can also use it in choriocarcinoma and choriocarcinoma. Okay, sometimes in soft tissue sarcoma is also, this drug is also used. Then we have two special drugs called daunorubicin and doxorubicin. Okay, these are also antibiotics. We have daunorubicin and doxorubicin. All right. Now these drugs will directly inhibit DNA synthesis. Inhibit DNA synthesis in the tumor and in the surrounding cells as well. Now, as I told you earlier, cancer case the treatment dete, whenever you're trying to treat cancer, it is very hard to, it is almost impossible to not affect your normal cells. Okay, because tumor cells are essentially made up of normal cells, because of overgrowth of normal cells, there's tumors being formed. What ends up happening is whenever you try to kill tumor cells, or you're trying to delete tumor cells, you will end up killing quite a lot of normal cells as well. Okay, so this inhibits DNA synthesis in cells, primarily in tumors, but other cells are also affected. Now there is one very specific adverse effect of both daunorubicin and doxorubicin. It will cause, so I'll just write it as specific adverse effect, um, cardiotoxicity with hypotension, arrhythmias, and congestive cardiac failure. Okay, this combination is very unique to only these two drugs. So whenever you give daunorubicin and doxorubicin, generally the patient will have cardiotoxicity with hypotension, arrhythmias, and congestive cardiac failure. Generally, these drugs are avoided in patients who already have a cardiovascular problem. Okay, even if they have hypertension or if they have atherosclerosis, उन लोगों के अंदर avoid करना ये drug, daunorubicin and doxorubicin. Other than these side effects, it can also these drugs can also cause vomiting, can cause stomatitis. Okay, it can cause alopecia, and it can cause bone marrow depression. Okay. Now, as such, you can use daunorubicin for acute leukemia. You can use doxorubicin for solid tumor cancers, or you can use it for acute leukemia as well. Right. Then we have the next class, epipodophyllotoxins. Okay. इसमें दो main drugs आते हैं. So the first one was antibiotics. This may actinomycin D, daunorubicin, and doxorubicin discuss करें. Then we have epipodophyllotoxins, in which we'll have etoposide and teniposide. Okay, both of these will break DNA strand. What they do is they will bind to DNA and end up break DNA strand. Okay, because of which protein synthesis will not occur and the cell will not be able to proliferate anymore. These two drugs are specifically used for testicular and lung cancer. Right. Then we have another class called taxanes. ये taxanes जो है taxanes, you'll mainly have paclitaxel. Paclitaxel is the drug. Now, paclitaxel is something that will arrest mitosis. It will stop it rather than killing the cell itself. It will stop reproduction of the cell. It will stop division of the cell. All right. It arrests mitosis. Mitosis. Because there are so many drugs in this thing cancer pharmacology, you do not have a lot of detail about each and every class and each and every drug. Okay, that is why I'm not going into PK, PD, and all of that details. Maybe adverse effects here and there. That is one of the reasons why I discussed adverse effects in the initial part in the last class, because you'll have several adverse effects that will be common. Okay, you have a few specific adverse effects as well, but as such some common side effects will be there. PKPD उन लोगों का, I would suggest that you not get into it, because again it will be a lot of detail for you. Just simple mechanism of action is enough and where it is used. Okay, this drug generally it is given IV paclitaxel and it gets metabolized by liver. Specific adverse effects include myelosuppression, it will cause, right. Other than myelosuppression, it can cause muscle pain, myalgia. It can cause peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy will be accompanied by numbness, tingling feeling, and all of that. Okay. You will also have another drug in taxanes called docetaxel. Okay, paclitaxel के वैसा ही रहता है, it will also arrest mitosis, but it is a lot more potent than paclitaxel. Okay, it will affect much better than paclitaxel, and it can be given orally as well. Paclitaxel is only given IV. Then we have camptothecins. Camptothecins में, which is topoisomerase inhibitors. So we have camptothecins. Okay. Two drugs mainly, topotecan and irinotecan. All right. These two drugs will break DNA, leading to cell death. So they cause cell death by breakage of DNA. Cause cell death by breakage of DNA. All right. Both of them are used IV. Topotecan and irinotecan, both of them are given IV. All toxicity is relatively mild for both of these drugs. You will have a little bit of nausea, bone marrow suppression occurs to a certain extent, and the patient might show skin rashes. Okay, so those are specific adverse effects. One thing about topotecan and irinotecan that you need to remember is that, especially irinotecan, this fellow, this drug, is a inhibitor of acetylcholinesterase. Inhibits acetylcholinesterase. If you remember, acetylcholinesterase is an enzyme that will metabolize or it will convert acetylcholine. Okay, it will break down acetylcholine, meaning it will decrease the total amount of acetylcholine that is present in the synaptic terminal. Now, whenever you have a drug that is inhibiting acetylcholinesterase, you will have accumulation of acetylcholine. Okay, this leads to ACH accumulation. Okay, acetylcholine accumulation will lead to, symptoms like excessive salivation. The patient might have meiosis, abdominal cramps, all the symptoms associated with increased amount of acetylcholine. Whenever it gets accumulated, bradycardia hota, sweating, abdominal cramps, muscle stiffness, things like that. You can treat this reaction by giving atropine. Okay, all of this avoided by giving atropine. Atropine is a acetylcholine antagonist. Okay, then we have the last class in this called Vinca alkaloids. Vinca alkaloids में mainly दो drugs आते हैं, vincristin and vinblastin. Both of them work by stopping cell division. They will stop cell division at the metaphase. ठीक है, जो spindles form होते हैं, spindle fibers which will form and they will attach to your centromere and they will pull the chromosomes apart. They are spindle poisons. They will break spindle down, or literally they will poison the spindle. Okay, so Vinca alkaloids arrest cell division in metaphase by poisoning spindle fibers. Okay, both of them are spindle poisons. Now you have vincristin and vinblastin. Vincristin specifically is neurotoxic. Okay, I have vincristin. Vincristin is neurotoxic. Okay, bone marrow depression is significantly less in vincristin due to vincristin. You can use it in leukemia. You can use it in Hodgkin's lymphoma. So used in leukemia. You can use it in Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay, you can use it in brain and Wilms tumor as well. Right, that is one drug. Then we have vinblastin. Vinblastin जो है, this causes significant bone marrow depression. Mechanism of action of both of the drugs will be the same. They will arrest metaphasic cell division. All right. It can also cause alopecia and vomiting. See, almost all cancer drugs will cause vomiting, but the ones that I'm specifically mentioning as vomiting, they will have significant amount of vomiting. Okay. Generally, you use vinblastin either with bleomycin. Bleomycin is another antibiotic drug. Okay, antibiotic anti-cancer drug like actinomycin, or you can use it with cisplatin as well. All right, we'll discuss about cisplatin. So cisplatin and इसके साथ देते हैं, specifically you use it for testicular tumor. You can use it for Hodgkin's lymphoma as well. All right, vinblastin and cisplatin, or vinblastin and bleomycin combination. All right, that will conclude natural products. So that is the third class, third major class, natural products. This can, there all of these subclasses are present. Then we have miscellaneous drugs. Now miscellaneous drugs में दो drugs important है. You have several drugs. You have procarbazine, you have interferon alpha, you have imatinib, you have monoclonal antibodies, several others. But two drugs are specifically important. That is procarbazine, carbazine, and imatinib. Okay. Now, first of all, procarbazine is given orally. Okay, it is specifically useful in Hodgkin's lymphoma. You generally give it in combination. You give a 4 drug regimen, MOPP regimen बोल के रहता. What you do is you combine meclorethamine, you combine vincristine, procarbazine, and prednisolone, and that combination is given to a patient with Hodgkin's lymphoma. This drug specifically damages DNA. Okay? The result is that this drug might be carcinogenic itself. Okay, damages DNA and action may be carcinogenic, meaning this drug itself can cause cancer. Okay, especially when used for a long period of time. Now almost 30% of patients, so 1 in 3 patients almost, have complained about leukopenia and thrombocytopenia. It is pretty evident whenever you give procarbazine, leukopenia and thrombocytopenia occurs. The patient might have infections and they might have bleeding disorders. Okay, that is how you will see clinical effects जो दिखते हैं वैसे दिखते हैं. Then we have imatinib. Now, imatinib is a drug which has been recently introduced. It's a relatively new drug. This drug selectively inhibits an enzyme called tyrosine kinase. Okay? It is involved in pathogenesis of, it is at least believed to be involved in pathogenesis of chronic myeloid leukemia. Okay? Imatinib, selective um, inhibitor of tyrosine kinase. Okay. Different types of tyrosine kinases which are specifically so used in chronic myeloid leukemia. Okay. Specific adverse effects associated with imatinib will be skin rashes and a spike in liver enzymes. Okay, SGOT, SGPT, ALT, all of them will increase whenever you give imatinib. Side effects: skin rashes and increased liver enzymes. All right. So that is miscellaneous drug class, a very small class. Then we have the fifth class, which is hormones. Okay. Now there are a few hormones that can be used in cancer chemotherapy. Specifically, you use glucocorticoids, androgens, estrogens, and progestins. Okay. So you have glucocorticoids, androgens, estrogens, and progestins. Now, glucocorticoids में mainly दो type of glucocorticoids are used. You use prednisolone and dexamethasone. All right. These are mainly used for acute leukemia, or you can also use for lymphoma. One advantage of glucocorticoid whenever you use it in cancer is that you will see clinical improvement, which is very rapid. Patient will get better very, very quickly. And generally, that rapid clinical improvement is seen within 2 weeks to 9 months of treatment. All right. Generally it is used for initial treatment. You can also use it to you can use it with radiotherapy, to decrease radiation edema. Whenever you give radiotherapy, patients tend to have radiation edema development. So उसके अंदर आप glucocorticoids दे सकते हैं. Or you can use it for intracranial tumors or for cerebral edema, to decrease cerebral edema. You can also use it for symptomatic relief. ठीक है, in critically ill patients symptomatic relief के वैसे use कर सकते हैं. So specifically glucocorticoids, two main drugs, prednisolone and dexamethasone. Methasone. All right, these are commonly used ones in cancer. You can use glucocorticoids in acute leukemia and lymphoma, acute lymphoma. All right. Now, coming to the next class of drugs, we have estrogens. Now estrogens are used in two particular conditions. One condition is when the patient has prostatic carcinoma. ठीक है, so in men who have prostatic carcinoma उसके अंदर estrogens use कर सकते हैं, or you can use it in men who have breast cancer. Okay, you can also use it in postmenopausal women who have breast cancer. Okay, so estrogens used in static carcinoma and breast cancer in men and postmenopausal women. All right. Now, these drugs, estrogens, are specifically given when you cannot perform surgery or you cannot perform radiation therapy. When they are useless, that is when you use estrogen for prostatic carcinoma or breast cancer in men. Okay, also in postmenopausal women who have breast cancer. Now, there are a few hormone antagonists as well. They also will come under hormones. Now, those hormone antagonists will specifically be there are three, four types. Okay, so there's something called hormone antagonists. Okay, the first type in this will be aromatase inhibitors. Aromatase inhibitors is also given as a contraceptive drug. ठीक है, for other conditions as well aromatase inhibitors use करते हैं. Now specifically aromatase inhibitors में आता है आपका formastane, you can give anastrozole, vorozole and letrozole. Okay, so 4 drugs. Now what these do is, see, in your body normally what happens is androgens, okay, testosterone and testosterone dihydrotestosterone वो पूरे epiandrosterone all of these are converted into estrogens, and that conversion occurs through an enzyme called aromatase estrogen. Okay, this occurs by aromatase. Now aromatase inhibitors simply inhibit this enzyme. Okay, this is so that estrogen is not being produced. All right, aromatase inhibitors can be used in this sense in certain cancers wherein a patient has increased amount of estrogen. उनके अंदर aromatase inhibitors are particularly helpful. Then we have two more special drugs. Okay, one is aminoglutathamide. Okay, and trilastane. Now ये दो ड्रग क्या करते हैं? These drugs will stop conversion of cholesterol itself. Okay, if cholesterol is not converted, you will not have estrogen being formed. Progesterone, estrogen, androgens, glucocorticoids, all of them come from cholesterol. अगर cholesterol को ही मैं inhibit कर दिया, specifically the conversion of cholesterol into pregnenolone. ठीक है, normally in your body what happens is cholesterol gets converted into pregnenolone. ठीक है, this pregnenolone, sorry, this pregnenolone, this is the first step in corticosteroid synthesis. Eventually what will happen is this pregnenolone, if you look up the chart of pregnenolone cholesterol conversion into different components, you will see that pregnenolone is a precursor for several other components. You will see adrenocorticoids like aldosterone and cortisol being formed. You will see conversion of pregnenolone into progesterone, estrogen, androgens and glucocorticoids. So all of that can be avoided by simply stopping this conversion. Aminoglutathamide and trilastane will stop this conversion. Okay, it will not let cholesterol get converted into pregnenolone. Eventually, they will stop formation of progesterone, estrogen, androgens, and glucocorticoids. Okay, specifically used in advanced breast cancer. Used in advanced breast cancer. Okay. Especially when cancer contains the tumor cells contain estrogen receptors, and the tumor cell is proliferating based on estrogen. That is when you will give something that is stopping the production of estrogen. अगर आप amine aromatase inhibitor दिए काम आता, or else if you give aminoglutathione or trilostane, both of them will be very helpful in this case. Okay. Then the last type will be GnRH analogs. GnRH analogs may will come leuprolide, हार्मोन एंटागोनिस्ट है वो भी, गोनाडोट्रोपिन रिलीजिंग हार्मोन एनालॉग, GnRH analogs. Okay. Now these drugs, specifically long-term administration of leuprolide or goserelin या फिर buserelin, they are used for prostatic and breast cancer. Okay. So long-term administration of leuprolide, you can use goserelin and buserelin. Okay. It can be used in prostatic and breast cancers. Okay. Generally what you do is, in case of breast cancer, you will combine GnRH analogs with tamoxifen. Okay. Then we have the last class. This completes our hormones. Okay, hormones and hormone antagonists. We have a last class called biological response modifiers. We'll discuss about them tomorrow. All right, biological response modifiers में दो अलग type आते हैं, hemopoietic growth factors and monoclonal antibodies. We'll discuss about them tomorrow.